Well, morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet for this Sunday, the 6th of July, 2025? Right now it's about basically 8:30 in the morning. And I'm still dealing with my dog. Uh, there's a lot to say and a lot of comparisons I'm making more and more. It seems that the materials that we've created for ourselves to show us what totalitarian looks like, a lot of people are experiencing it and had experienced it for decades and millenniums. In my country, we've been taught about it. We have heard from witnesses. We have had records of it. And we never saw it creeping up until November 2024. And now we're seeing the effects of it a great deal more and more. And the more I keep reviewing some of the creative works that had been made, I'm a cartoon fanatic. I like cartoons. So, and comics. And comics. So when I kept reading about the Marvel comics from long ago when Stan Lee was and others were drafting these stories about how humans are going after mutants, I guess the comic community were trying to get it more and more because there are elements in it that understood it more acutely than we do right now. Than the current generation that's experiencing it right now. I think maybe they're getting it. One second. It happens. Uh, we're experiencing it in a worse fashion than we've ever seen it. Because in America, we have never gone through fascism. We've never gone through tyranny, but we are seeing the slow creep of tyranny. I'm not saying that the conservatives were autocratic, that they want one party, one rule, one ring that rules them all. It's not just that. It's the idea and ideology that there has to be a mindset for it. But unfortunately, we have different people with different mindsets of what their own version of tyranny, fascism, wrapped up in the cloak of patriotism. That's why it was kind of hard for me to celebrate July 4th because the cloak of patriotism was about, but it was always about tyranny. It was about tyranny. It was about people controlling others with fear and intimidation. And every time we kept standing up and saying no, it pissed them off even further. But what happens if that tyranny gets even worse than we've already seen what ICE has been doing right now? All you got to do is go back to the medias. Comic books go back a decade, almost a century. And so does the stories. We have elements. Certain elements that the conservatives have been trying to weed out and calling it divisive. It was ludicrous. It was whatever kind of terminology they would say to discredit it. But it was reality. It was honesty. Even the Gothic classics, I wouldn't be surprised. When they were talking about the Gothic monsters, 1800s when they were creating them out, or at least the 1700s to 1800s when they're coming out with stories. Mary Shelley, Wollstonecraft, Frankenstein, the Prometheus man. That concept had been used in the 12-step recovery halls. But we're also talking about the split personality. Our Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, again of the Gothic monsters. But then again, who's the monster and who wasn't? The monster that does terrible things when he's out of control, when he's drinking or using. But what about the one who wasn't? Was that person also a monster and didn't even realize it? I'm seeing elements of it on a constant basis. And what would be sometimes it's kind of hard to define it, trying to put it into the correct words, terminology at this point. What defines a monster? Is it the actions or inactions? Or is it both? You look in the mirror and you look at your mirror image. I look at the camera right now and I'm seeing a mirror image. And when this gets taped, it's going to be showing a mirror image. But if I have a different camera looking at me at a different viewpoint, then I may be looking at a mirror image, but I'll be recording and showing back what the real image is of me. But does it show in here and in here? Does it? Our actions and inactions. It's not just words, but physical forms, intentions. Do we really want to imprison everybody just because we fear them a great deal? We did that, and we have examples of it. The world's done that to themselves. The wars show concentration camps, and still do. And now we've got a president who wants that extended across. They want to show that there's concentration camps for the ones who don't please the government, who disobey the government, who dare to cross the border illegally, even though it was a misdemeanor offense. You dare cross the sovereignty. You dare insult. You dared. Therefore, you should be punished. And that's how it is. But America is supposed to be great. Not humane, not human, not caring. We're great and we're showing Christian values. We're showing the darker nature of ourselves and we think we're immune to it. No, we're not. We're letting loose with our own darker intentions because that's what we wanted. Now, if somebody forced our hands, it's a choice. It's a choice we made. I can think all the negative thoughts I can about this thing, and it'll drive me nuts. But from whatever lessons I've learned, I still need to relearn them all over again. About how not to treat others. How to calmly accept people as they are. But if they want to show themselves to be that much of a demonstrative example, be my guest. I'm a hermit by choice. I do caregiving by choice. I don't communicate very much except through other people. I don't talk directly to people as often, directly or indirectly. I choose people very carefully. And when I speak, I choose my words carefully as well. I've had times where I've crossed lines. I could not cross them again. I've had people hurt by those lines I've crossed. I vowed never to do it again. So yeah, I know about boundaries, I know about borders, I also know about monsters. We are all monsters to ourselves and to each other. We're also human to each other. It is our choice, it is our decisions, it's not just our fears driving us, about our own internal motivations. Do we actually care? Do we not care? But when we care, we have to be careful. We have to be careful on how we deal and treat each other. And sometimes how we communicate with each other. We can say the most innocuous thing and not even realize it. But then the reception of it comes out garbled. And whatever was supposed to be transmitted wasn't received. At least in one aspect of it anyway. I watch cartoons a great deal. I also see other television shows. I'm seeing how the artists are still trying to reach out through their works, letting us know what's commonly acceptable and what's not acceptable, what's the acceptable behavior and what's not. What are we considered closer to our own beliefs and faith systems? Some of us don't even have it. I'm not complaining about it. That's them. That's their choice. They have made the choice. Me. I had to find clarification when I was a lot younger, but I didn't have any choice either about the faith. But when I started learning about it and starting acting upon it, it became second nature. But there's a lot of times I get tested and strained. I have to keep relearning those lessons. It's not easy when you're dealing with people coming up from the cold like they know you. They don't know you. You can study the videotapes like crazy, but you just don't know them. I don't know about the authors I read. Maybe there's pieces of elements in there that'll describe me about them, about their process of thinking, feeling, treating people, or mistreating people. So I have to be on my guard. I've been backstabbed too many damn times. Does it make me a monster? Maybe in someone else's eyes. As long as my intention is showing that I meant no harm. Maybe they meant no harm. I know what lines, and I know it's crossed. And I've almost hurt people in the process. Not only myself, but my family. And I had to learn the lessons the hard way. We all want to feel that we're more special than others. I know we do. I do. I know we've got that ego thing going on. But we also want to show that we're number one. We're not. We're just them. We're just it. We're just our individual selves. It's hard to put these things into words, especially when I need to get them communicated effectively. It's nice to hear from people who watch my show. As I said originally, this was for my emotional lifeboat that I go to one day if I'm really losing my mental capacities. If I'm losing my memories, if I'm losing myself, I need to see who the hell I am. I know it's easy enough to put the stuff in private storage, but there was also the times when I'm going through the emotional triggers regarding my own issues, such as grieving all the time. I tried to describe it. I've hid it away from it a lot of times. And then it got to a point where I had to get help for it. And I have, and I'm going through it. And the videos, they help. Just they help me get out my feelings, my thoughts. Some of the stuff is coming up political, but the rest of it is coming up emotional. And I know it's triggering a lot of things in a lot of people. They want to get closer to the source. Trust me, you don't want to cross those lines. I've been through them, and they had disastrous results. It's nice to get a little bit of communication back and forth. But I discovered that if I start the constant barrage, like I had a few people, I scare and terrify them. Again, from experience. And I have to back off. So I will do my videos and talk about things. I appreciate the comments coming in. I appreciate the people are communicating with me. It doesn't mean that you're set up as the #1 fan just yet. But you may think so. And be advised, there are lines. That I appreciate. I just have to have a buffer zone. That being said, guys,